Hello students, welcome back to the online classes of physics. So today's topic is continuation of force. We have learned about contact forces. Today we will learn about the magnetic force. So first we'll learn what is magnetic force. Okay, to explain that we will take one small activity we will explain here. That is, what we are going to do, we are going to take one small needle. Okay, to that needle, what we are going to do, we are going to rub this needle with the magnet, a small magnet, and we are going to rub it with the magnet. We'll rub two needles, we will rub two needles with the same magnet, and we will leave that magnet in a bowl. Okay, to one side of one needle we will add one uh, as a reminder, to one north side and to one south side. Yeah, so what we are doing, we are rubbing this needles, two needles we are going to rub with the magnet. Okay, then what we are going to do, we are going to place this needle in the water. Before that, what we are going to do, we'll add one for as a reminder, one end, that is north pole and south pole. We have two poles, right? North and south. So what we will do, one north pole we will keep one, as a reminder we will keep one blue thermocol. Okay, small balls we will get now, we'll keep that. And to the south pole we will keep one red thermocol ball, and this we will place in a bowl containing water. Okay, a bowl containing water. So what we will see, what we will observe now, we will observe that the opposite, already we have learned that opposite poles, opposite ends will get attracted, whereas the same charges will get repel, right? So how we are saying that, because after rubbing this magnet with needle, the needle is now charged. Okay, the needle now gets charged. Because it has now charged, whenever it is coming in contact with the same pole, same color, that is, if blue color is coming in contact with blue color side, then that is they are getting repelled. Okay, and if the red color side is coming in contact with the red color, that means they are getting repel. If blue color side, that is pole, is coming in contact with a red color pole, that is south pole, then they are getting attracted towards each other. Okay, so with this what we come to know, that the opposite poles get attracted, whereas the same poles get repelled. Okay, so with this we can say that this action of pull or push arises due to the magnetic force, which we have got from the rubbing of magnet with the needles, right? So with this we came to know how the magnetic force is coming, right? So a magnet can be attracted or repel another magnet without contact also, right? So with this we have learned one magnet is not in contact with other, but still they are getting repelled and attracted, right? So this is without any contact, so this is called as magnetic force. So next force is electrostatic force. First force we have learned about magnetic force. Next is electrostatic force. So what is electrostatic force? So I have already explained one example regarding the charge, right? So what was that? We are taking a small balloon. Okay, we are taking a balloon and we are rubbing that balloon to our one paper. Okay, we are rubbing the balloon to a bit paper, then we are keeping some small bits of paper here. So what do you see? These papers are attracted towards the balloon, and this go and stick up with this balloon. Why this is happening? Why this is happening? This is happening because it acquires some electrostatic force. It has acquired some electrostatic force on its surface of the balloon. Okay, when it is brought near to the bits of paper after getting rubbed to the paper, that means it has been charged. When it is brought near to the bits of paper, the pieces acquire some opposite charge, which will rise and cling to the balloon. The force exerted by the charged body on the charged another body is called as electrostatic force. Understood? The force exerted by a charged body on another body is known as electrostatic force. Again I am repeating, the force exerted by a charged body. The force exerted by this balloon on another, that is bits of papers, it is attracting and allowing the papers to settle on it. So like for example, we can even take a scale. Okay, take a scale and rub the scale to your on your hair. Okay, rub the scale on your hair and keep bring it to in front of some bits of paper. What you will see, these papers will get attracted towards the scale and get stick up to the scale. Why? Because this scale has now exerted some electrostatic force. So this object is getting some charge, and this is attracting these another body, another object, and allowing it to get attracted and settle. Understood? The force exerted by a charged body on another charged body is called as electrostatic force. This force comes into play even when the bodies are not in contact. It is the example of a force at a distance. Okay, so it is not having any contact, but still, see, simply just you will keep far away. You will not keep near also, you will just keep far away and you will attract the papers. The papers will come into contact with the scale or the balloon, right? So that is called as electrostatic force. Next, coming to the gravitational force. What it is? Gravitational force. Already we know that whenever objects are falling, they don't fall up, right? They come back to the earth. Okay, generally our answer would be that the table supports the pen when we keep the pen on the table, right? But if the table does not support the pen, it would fall down until it is supported by another object like the floor, isn't it? So why does a stone thrown up into the sky falls back to the earth? Why do rivers flow down the sea? Why does the earth hold the atmosphere? Is there any force pulling the body towards the earth? If an object is thrown upwards, there exists a force which pulls it downwards to the earth. Because of this, it falls down to the ground, and we call this force as gravitational force. Every object on the earth or close to the earth will experience a gravitational force, isn't it? The force of gravity is not just due to the attraction of earth, it is a force of attraction that exists between any two bodies everywhere in the universe. Okay, depending on their masses, their weights, isn't it? Whatever, if you are throwing a ball also into our air, it will come back and fall onto the ground only, isn't it? So you cannot experience a gravitational force that exists between you and your teacher or between you and the blackboard, because it is very small when compared to the gravitational force exerted by the earth on its objects. You will learn more regarding this in the gravitation lesson. So this also a type of force which is not in contact, but it is a force, right, without contact at a distance. So next, with this I'll explaining of a force acting at a distance concept of field. The field which acts between two bodies when the bodies are not directly touching each other is called as force at a distance. I said you what is force at a distance, right? What is force at a distance? It is not in contact, but still it is showing some force. Okay, so we can explain this with some examples like visualizing magnetic field. I actually don't have magnet right now, so I do, but still I'll just explain you. When we are keeping two magnets, okay, what will happen, and we will place some this papers on one paper. We will put some all waste like iron waste, okay, dust particles of iron. So now see what it will happen. Simply we will just keep one small plain paper, we will keep all the dust particles. So let us see what will happen. Yeah, so what we will do, we will take one table, Okay, on table we will place one paper. On table we will place one paper, and on that what we will do, we will keep all the stuff, all the iron dust particles. Okay, down the paper, beneath this paper I have placed one magnet. Okay, here I have not placed, I'm just telling you. Okay, I've placed one magnet here, and what is happening, see, suppose this is an illumination. Okay, just you have to, it's just an illusion. Okay, you just have to imagine it. So what we are doing, just we will keep one paper magnet here on the table, and on the table, below the table we'll place a magnet, and on the table we will keep one paper. On this paper we'll dust all the iron, like this waste particles. Okay, waste particles of iron. Then what we will do, slowly we will move this magnet. Okay, we will move this magnet here and there. Whenever you are moving this magnet here and there, what you will see, the particles whatever present now, suppose this is the magnet, what you will see, the particles whatever are present, they will come into a definite shape. Okay, they will form a definite shape like this. Okay, they will form a definite shape. That means they are getting attracted like this somewhere. They will form one shape. So this is nothing but because the magnet is not in contact, with the material but particles, but still it is creating some force. Okay, it is creating some force. So because of this, a magnetic force has been created, and this they contact, it is some new force is created, right? Some force is coming out of this. That means without touching also you can see the magnetic field, right? You can see that in a small space around the magnet, iron filings set themselves in a pattern because they are affected by the magnetic force of the field created by the bar magnet. The pattern represents the magnetic field. The space around the magnet where its influence can be detected is called as the magnetic field. So wherever it is detected, this is nothing but your magnetic field. Thus, a field is a region in which a force can be experienced by the another magnetic object at any point in that region. A body creates a field and another body experiences the force by the field when it is placed in that field. Understood? Without coming in contact also, they are feeling some forces there. So like magnetic field is creating some contact forces, that is your magnetic force at your surrounding a magnet. An electric field surrounds electric charges, and a gravitational field surrounds masses, that is weight. So the strength of a field in a particular region can be represented by some field lines. The greater the density of lines, the stronger the force in that part of the field. Okay. Next part I'll continue in the next video. Till then, take care.